We've long been told that what we eat matters most for health, but a growing body of research is showing that when we eat may be just as important. Enter chrononutrition, the science of how food timing interacts with our body's natural circadian rhythms. And among the many nutrients now under the microscope of time, niacin, vitamin B3, holds a fascinating place, not just as a metabolic vitamin, but as a key modulator of NAD, the molecule that ties together cellular energy, aging, and the body's internal clock. To understand why the timing of niacin intake might influence longevity, we need to appreciate its central role in NAD biosynthesis. Niacin is a precursor to nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide (NAD), which functions like the cell's energy currency accountant and molecular repair chief.
NAT.
Levels fluctuate throughout the day in a circadian rhythm, peaking and dipping alongside sleep-wake cycles, feeding fasting windows, and the daily oscillations of sirtuins and clock genes. Here's where it gets interesting. The body's circadian clock doesn't just govern sleep. It also regulates metabolism, DNA repair, and mitochondrial function, all processes that NAD and its dependent enzymes like SIRT1 influence. And niacin, by influencing NAD availability, may interact directly with the machinery of circadian control. So, what happens when we dump niacin into this delicately tuned clockwork at the wrong time? Preliminary data suggest that when you consume niacin and other NAD, precursors like NMN or NR can shift the timing and magnitude of NAD availability, potentially affecting gene expression tied to metabolism, inflammation, and cellular repair. For example, NAD levels naturally rise during fasting and peak at night when sirtuins ramp up to promote DNA repair and mitochondrial cleanup. But if you ingest high doses of niacin in the morning with a high-calorie meal, you may be nudging NAD levels earlier than your circadian system expects, possibly blunting the natural fasting-induced surge that supports cellular maintenance. In contrast, taking niacin during or after prolonged fasting, especially in the evening, may synchronize better with your body's nocturnal NAD
peak.
This could enhance the activity of SIRT1 and SIRT3, proteins involved in metabolic switching, autophagy, and genomic stability, and support healthy aging. It's a subtle dance. Deliver the niacin too early, and you might disrupt the clock. Deliver it at the right time, and you may reinforce its rhythm. This also has implications for metabolic health. Studies in mice have shown that mistimed feeding of NAD precursors can disrupt glucose metabolism and increase fat accumulation, while time-restricted or circadian-aligned dosing improves insulin sensitivity and lipid regulation. In humans, though the research is still emerging, there are hints that late-day or nighttime NAD support may better match the body's endogenous repair cycles, especially in older adults whose NAD rhythms are already flattened or phase-shifted. There's also the issue of niacin flush, a short-lived but uncomfortable reaction some people get when taking high doses of nicotinic acid. Interestingly, the severity of this flush may vary depending on time of day, potentially linked to circadian variations in prostaglandin production. That's not just trivia, it's a reminder that our response to nutrients is not fixed, but circadian dependent. And what about shift workers, night owls, or people with disrupted circadian rhythms? They may be especially vulnerable to desynchronized NAD cycling, leading to impaired metabolism, chronic inflammation, and accelerated aging. For these individuals, niacin timing could be used therapeutically, not just to boost NAD, but to re-entrain circadian rhythms and support better metabolic alignment. So, does when you eat niacin matter? Increasingly, the answer is yes. Niacin isn't just a passive nutrient, it's a signal, a molecule that speaks the language of metabolism and time. Taking it at the right moment could support the body's natural NAD rise, reinforce circadian gene expression, and enhance cellular repair during sleep. Taken at the wrong time, especially with large or late-night meals, it could muddy those signals and weaken the metabolic symphony. In the future, we may see niacin and other NAD boosters recommended not just with milligram doses but with timestamps. Take after fasting, before sunset, or avoid within 2 hours of your largest meal. Chrononutrition isn't a fringe idea anymore. It's the next frontier in personalized health. Because in longevity science, the timing of your nutrients may matter just as much as what's on your plate. And niacin? It's not just fuel, It's a rhythmic whisper to your aging cells, helping them remember what time it is and what they're meant to do next.